thankfully for the capacity crowd at center court here in Toronto. Weather conditions have cooled considerably from a steamy afternoon in Ontario. You're on serve, 3-2 Andre Agassi, the 8th seed and the hottest player on the ATP Tour. Trying for a 3rd straight tour title in 3 consecutive tournaments. Washington, Los Angeles, now maybe Toronto.
15-11.
Speaking of how hot he is, 14 matches, that equals the top streak of Albert Costa of Spain, Peter Korda, Australian Open champ, Marcelo Rios, soon to be #1.
Now, do you give him that #1 right now since Sampras lost, or do you wait till the rankings come out Monday? Doesn't matter.
Wait till Monday to make it official, but it may as well be.
13-11.
Look at it.
Here, Andre talking to himself, saying he took his eye off the ball. Very important. Even the best in the game take their eye off the ball.
It's Coach Brad Gilbert located in that corner.
Nice pass. He steps up into the court. He doesn't let the ball play him. He plays the tennis ball. Go after it. If you're hitting a passing shot, Andre Agassi showing us how to attack and then rip a passing shot cross court.
Great example of how quick he is. Not much racket preparation. Doesn't bring it back too far. Just an explosion of the wrist. Perfect angle, and he's got himself a winner. Double fault for 30-all.
That racket prep developed long time ago when he was just a junior, making sure he wasn't taking big cracks at. You see a lot of Europeans having trouble on a fast court because of those big swings. Andre Agassi growing up on a fast, hard court in Vegas. Now, when the ball's sitting there, you'll see him take a bigger swing, but mainly when the ball's real fast, coming low, just turn his hips, turn his shoulders, and then rip at it with good racket head speed.
Great touch from Krajicek at the net. He's shown that cut volley, Luke, several times. That first or the approach volley can be deep, and he'll follow it up with a beautiful cut volley. Lots of underspin and no chance for Agassi to track that down, even with his speed.
Well, Dave, when you're playing a quick player like Michael Chang or Andre Agassi, it's a smart play to try to hit your ground strokes behind a quicker player, to try to volley behind a quicker player. Sometimes they try to get out of that hole and cheat to the open court. And you can catch them sometimes taking off, like Krajicek just did. That's a nice approach shot.
15.
Richard knows he can't stay back with Andre Agassi, and he has to take any type of short ball and hit it and come in and take some chances. Second serve, a kick serve even on the first is a short ball for Richard.
Now we're on serve, Luke, so it could go anyone's way if we have a tie break and stay in this mode. You wonder if it goes into 3 sets. Agassi again has the advantage because Krajicek had a long layoff, much like Pete Sampras. This is his first tournament since Wimbledon.
One of the knocks on Richard Krajicek is that he's not a fit player. He had a tough week this week, but he doesn't play a full schedule because he has bad knees. So he doesn't get on the track. He doesn't ride the bike. Try to stay fit. He's a big server that keeps the point short. So if he's in any type of grinding match that Andre's going to get him into, he's in trouble.
Just crunched into the corner. He came on top of that ball and unleashed the big backhand winner.
Yeah, that was a go for broke backhand after 4 or 5 balls. He had been going coast to coast for too long, and he had to really take a crack at it. He stayed down with it. Got a good piece of it into the corner.
We talked about bad knees. Krajicek hyperextended the knee at Wimbledon this year. Blistering shot. So normally after Wimbledon, he takes some time. You talked about that cutback schedule. Goes into the mountains, cross-country skiing for A, relaxation, and B, fitness for the hard court season. This year he couldn't do it because of the knee problem. So again, that question of fitness and how much stamina he has against Agassi will come into play.
Game. Agassi.
We are still on serve in Toronto. Agassi holds for a 4-3 first set lead. The best player on the tour right now against the hard-serving Richard Krajicek. For Cincinnati at the ATP Championship, Pete Sampras, #1.
Time.
Krajicek there as well. Carlos Moya won this year in France. Jonas Bjorkman, who's had a tremendous last year on tour. Rafter red hot. Peter Korda won in Australia. Kafelnikov and our new #1 to be Marcelo Rios. Great field, Luke.
Well, don't forget Andre Agassi, and we've already seen the draw. Looks like Sampras and Agassi could meet in the quarters for the second week in a row. The draw fills out just like it did here in Toronto.
Agassi takes on Nicholas Kiefer of Germany in the first round. That's a tough first rounder for the A-Train.
15 love.
The way the bracket shapes up, these two players could match up in the third round. Krajicek and Agassi. So Andre will have his work cut out for him in Cincy. Just a year ago, hard to believe that Agassi was bounced out of that tournament early. First round, an embarrassing loss to Gustavo Kuerten. Remember watching that match from the press box in Cincinnati, and he was lost out there. A couple of points, footwork was brutal. Didn't know which end was up at that point. Boys, he come a long way.
Yeah, there was a point in that match that we should dig out some footage where he actually attacked the ball and actually whiffed it around no man's land. He had no idea where the ball was, what he was swinging at. And a year later, with lots of hard work and dedication, he's back to the top of the game.
Fourth ace for Richard Krajicek.
It's like a Mark Wohler situation in baseball. That guy's all over the planet. He sticks with it. He'll be back.
Game. Krajicek.
3 aces in the game, unleashing that hard serve we talked about. And we remain on serve.
4 games all.
127 miles an hour. That last blast off the strings of Richard Krajicek, 4-all.
No real opportunities for both players. Maybe a couple of deuces. Nothing serious. It's time for Andre to really step it up. Krajicek's going to be smashing and crashing. That's a big serve. Krajicek was looking to try to take a forehand by running around his backhand. Andre caught him, slid it out wide, forced the air.
I mentioned these players have not met since '95, but that at New Haven, that great final we talked about in hard court. All the matches so far have been on a fast surface. Wimbledon twice, Key Biscayne down at Lipton, and New Haven. That, of course, suiting each very well, especially Krajicek with that huge serve. Both have won Wimbledon titles.
Nice forehand from Krajicek, but it just didn't have enough pace on it for the A-Train.
Still on serve. Krajicek tries to stay alive in the first set when we come back to the Demore Open in Toronto. The overflow crowd, more than 10,000 at center court, treated us some tremendous tennis and the big names of the game over the past couple days. Here it's Krajicek, Agassi, center court.
There's that return once again, taking it early, racket out in front. Andre Agassi putting the ball at the feet of the serving volleying Richard Krajicek. Love 15 is a slight opening.
Agassi has been very dominant when he does play the Du Maurier Open. Three-time titleist. And here in Toronto, 15-1 career record when the event is held here. Hit that one. Luke, how much does that help when you've done well at a tournament in prior years, coming back for your confidence?
Well, you see the same volunteers. You see the same tournament organizers. You're very familiar with the hotel. Go out to the same restaurants. Andre Agassi just feels comfortable here in Toronto. He's had big wins against top players. Of course, big tournament wins, of course. But when Andre Agassi feels good about his game, when he's at the U.S. Open, when he's in Cincinnati, he's going to play well. Atlanta's another good town for Andre Agassi. He's won the AT&T Challenge down there a number of years. Won the Olympics in Atlanta.
30-15 for Krajicek. Trying to keep us on serve first set.
That's okay, but the form was good. Richard Krajicek leaning into that forehand volley, did a little bit too much with it, but he's accomplished what he wanted to do stepping onto the tennis court against Andre Agassi, and that is to serve well and really try to throw off the rhythm of Andre Agassi by keeping the point short. Attacking a lot of balls, making Andre pass him.
Hold.
Unforced errors so far, not too many. It's been very solid tennis. Dominant serving of Krajicek has helped him.
This time that return had a little bit more pace, but it was at the same spot. The shoelaces of the Dutchman.
13-14.
First break opportunity for either player. And it becomes a set point. A huge one for Andre Agassi here.
Thank you.
30-40. Agassi perhaps just needs that one slight opening. We'll see.
And this is it. The second serve. Watch Andre lean into the shot.
Didn't need
First
to.
set, Agassi.
Brad Gilbert, Andre Agassi's coach the last 5 years. Has got to love that. No effort required on the break and set point. Double fault.
6 games to 4.
Krajicek, his second of the first set, does him in there. Loses the first set 6-4. How about the change of emotion for Krajicek?
Well, look at Richard. The problem with Richard Krajicek, the book on him is if you can get him down early, he's going to fade away. He's going to roll over and play dead. He has to somehow continue to play good tennis and try to force some opportunities. He's not out of it. Problem with the confident Andre Agassi. Andre's going to move you around and continue to put the pressure on your serve and serve well from Andre's offensive point of view.
The maestro. Conductor is directing traffic. Beautifully done. Feathery touch on that backhand drop volley by Richard Krajicek at the net.
Well, he got a little frame on it.
15.
Some grip, some string, stencil ink. He's able to carve this over it using the big frame. Stabbing at it.
Helps when you're almost 6'6". Grew up a big basketball fan. Showtime, the LA Lakers. Despite that miss, the tennis has been his forte. As he moves up the rankings. Number 9 on the tour, Agassi number 11 this week.
Now you can really see the body language from Richard Krajicek. His shoulders start to droop a little bit, his head. Look at that worried look on his face. Starts to make more errors. This is where Andre Agassi has him.
Tries that cut backhand volley at the net again. This time comes up short.
Well, it was the right play. He's been hitting it well the entire match. and he set up the point. He'd been hitting some good ground strokes. He had Andre on the run here, chip backhand from Andre, and just doesn't execute the shot.
Caught the baseline. Not
Game,
that time.
Agassi.
The momentum and the roll continues for Andre Agassi. The last time these guys met, Agassi won that final, his 4th straight title. He is en route to a 3rd consecutive ATP Tour Championship with great play like that in the first set. Toronto, Ontario, Canada, the National Tennis Center at York University. Dave Ryan, Luke Jensen with you. Our 4th and final night of Deuce coverage from here in Toronto. So glad you could join us. Andre Agassi, the A-Train, Luke, is just unstoppable right now. 1 break chance, 1 set point, takes advantage, and now has that big lead.
It's the mental edge I think he's really gained over the last few weeks that the locker room feels. Every guy knows when it gets tight, Andre Agassi is getting the rolls, getting the bounces. He's so much quicker than he has been in the past. He's almost like a complete player all the way back from the challenger level.
14 straight matches. You see the caliber of players he's been able to beat. Krajicek is number 9, so he'll have another top 10 victory if he can hang on. 29 of 31 sets. And those
look
2
at
set
his
losses
career.
came yesterday.
Yeah, he was at 141. He comes back. He's beaten Sampras twice this year. He's been in the finals of that Mercedes Super 9 at Lipton, Key Biscayne, and now semis here and looking to take some more off the top players in the world.
Not much you can do about that. Searing ace that goes by him. Number 6 of the match for Richard Krajicek. And the first of the 2nd set is for 1-all. Set number 2 from Toronto.
Nice shot. That's difficult because the ball is below the net, around no man's land, and he had to really snap his wrist. You have to adjust this, get the racket underneath the ball, and whip it. That's the end result at that point. Nice volley for Krajicek. And he needed that one because he'd been struggling, losing the first set.
1 game all.
Now it's time for the Dutchman to put together a good return game, put some pressure on the guy from Vegas.
It's not like Richard Krajicek hasn't played well.
No, he just played a bad service game at 4-5. And he's getting opportunities with the second serve. He just has to exploit it. See, that's just now he's going to plan B when plan A has been working. Andre's been passing him, but it's been good, solid tennis. He's been approaching down the line, down the middle. Make Andre pass you 1,000,000 times. Try to disrupt the man's rhythm. Yeah, Richard Krajicek is not going to win that type of point. And Andre's not even working. He's not even trying to move the ball around. He's waiting for Richard to make an error.
Krajicek, 96 Wimbledon champ. He's done very well in the rankings. 311 career wins and made the semis of Wimbledon this year. Won't get there. What a good set that was at the All England Club against Ivan Izovic. 15-13 in the 50 lost it.
Yeah, a lot of people in the game of tennis did not like that semi. How long it went without just the serving battle between Krajicek and Ivanisevic as we watch his drop volley. I really liked watching. I saved that one on tape just to show juniors and to watch for myself to study those serves. It was a great duel. You see 2 great pitchers go at it. It's a work of art.
Agassi.
And the masterpiece for Andre Agassi in Toronto has followed suit from what he did in Los Angeles and Washington. Rolling through the competition. He's up 2-1. Welcome back, everyone, to the 1998 Demore Open here in Toronto. Each player has held serve into the second set. Richard Krajicek serving on center court to Andre Agassi, the 8th seed, in his big comeback try. Krajicek serving at 2-3 to Andre Agassi. Come on in and join us. Center court, National Tennis Center.
Hurt me, excuse me, watch your step, coming through.
Pretty aggressive cameraman here at ESPN2, huh?
Time.
Throwing his weight around a little bit. That best seat in the house right here on the deuce.
Does that guy have a ticket?
I hope so. 3-2 Andre. We are on serve second set. Lone break of the match came at the end of the first set at 4-5. Richard Krajicek of the Netherlands from Rotterdam. Double fault. That's all Andre needed. 45 match wins. That's second behind the new #1 in the world.
Love 15.
So important to watch Andre Agassi when he does return. He stays low, he's leaning forward on his toes, goes after the ball, hitting the shot out in front of him, picking his spot.
Just looking for that slight opening. Got that toward the end of the first set. We'll have a second ball to work with here. See where Krajicek goes, backhand or forehand.
Seems important to know when you're returning. You watch Brad Gilbert looking on
Love 30.
to have in your mind what you want to do with the return. Now you can go to the options B and C if something happens, if the guy throws a kicker, but it's like you're hitting in baseball. You have to know the pitch that you're looking for and where you want to hit it. Andre Agassi's just trying to get it low to the feet of Richard Krajicek. When it's not an ace.
Yeah, that last return certainly right in the strike zone.
Well, I've seen so many players just sit there and wait for the ball to come, and then it's too late to really pick and choose. Have an idea in your mind what you want to do with the ball and try to execute it.
Out heated 130 miles an hour. Still it is 15-30. Crucial point here. Krajicek cannot fall behind with a double break point scenario. However, he's got to face that.
Let's
Not
get
convert on the volley.
I'm sorry, Dave. Once again, Andre
15,
Agassi very happy with dipping the ball low, forcing Krajicek into an error.
Agassi said last night after his win over Sampras, if he kept that solid return low to the feet of Krajicek, he wouldn't have a problem in tonight's match. So far, that has proven to be very accurate. Double break point.
Now what you have to do if you're Richard Krajicek, get a couple more first serves in, but then again, maybe take the second shot in. If Agassi's content about hitting that return around the service line, serve and stay back one shot, take the next ball and come in. John McEnroe was a perfectionist at that. He'd mix it up all the time against Ivan Lendl.
Still another breaker against Richard Krajicek.
Cheers.
That time Andre decided to pull the trigger. It was a good second serve deep into the backhand pocket of Andre Agassi. And Andre just wanted to put a little bit more on that return, and he misses it. Deuce game.
Go for two break opportunities. What can you do about that? Not much.
Advantage, Krajicek.
Topping 130 miles an hour on that last blast. This for 3-all and keep us on serve. So Krajicek really dodging a big bullet here in the second set.
Krajicek.
Beautifully done at net by Richard Krajicek. If you're Agassi, so tough to try a topspin lob of any sort with offensive potential.
But it was the right shot because Andre is against the wind.
Change, please.
Got over the backhand side, and Richard didn't do a lot with this. Hit it right back down the middle, but it was the forehand volley that angled off it. Was able to win him the point. Richard Krajicek really hanging tough. Down 2 break points in that last game. And it's tough when you're playing a confident player like Andre Agassi to continue to stay positive because you know this guy's ready to take you out at any time.
On a roll on its serve. How about that? Crucial stage of the match for Krajicek.
And I don't think because Richard's made a lot of errors. I think Andre's come up with the passing shots and moved Richard around a lot. Another good example. Now, is that Richard's fault? I don't think so. He was pulled wide. He had to get to the net.
15 love.
And he was left with a difficult backhand volley. But that's the game plan the Dutchman needs to use. Richard's got to bring the kitchen sink again. Coming to the net. Every time, just keep throwing that anti-rhythm game at Andre Agassi. If you stay back, you are going to lose. There's no doubt about it.
Look out. Krajicek an opening now in this game at 15-30.
And he's created it. He's come into the net 3 times. He missed on the first one. The last 2 he's been successful. Another stab volley from the big flying Dutchman. Racket head is up. Scissor kick. Ball's away.
Missed that return.
But see where Krajicek ended up in no man's land? After he hits the return, he's looking to get in. Never hitting the ball and standing there. Always trying to move in a good position.
Pinpoint accuracy. That searing forehand from Agassi into the corner. 40-30. Trying to hold here for 4-3.
One thing about Andre Agassi's game is his ball is very heavy. He struggled with that. He actually went back to an old frame he used to use in the juniors and early in his career. Thought he got a little bit more bite, used it on the clay court season. And during the Wimbledon, he's gone back to the last frame he was #1 with, and it's been working.
The big ground strokes overcoming the big serve, at least to this point. On serve, second set. Agassi up 4-3. Welcome back, everyone. Jam-packed house, center court in Toronto, the Demore Open semifinals. Agassi up a set on serve, second set, a 4-3 lead. That's what's happening in the ATP Tour. The Corel WTA Tour has an event as well going on. Toshiba Classic, Carlsbad, California, near San Diego. Tonight, Tina Hingis, the top seed against Mary Pierce, who knocked off Venus Williams. Williams injured in that match. Saw the Celis result as well in the semifinal. Great tennis going on at Toshiba in Carlsbad. It's been outstanding at Toronto here as well.
15 love.
Tenth ace into double figures, 5 each set for Krajicek. Well, a little surprise, as Agassi said last night after his win over Sampras, we're going to see short, brief spurts out here with Krajicek. Not a lot of long rallies.
Typical puncher on the ATP Tour, really going for big serves, big shots off the ground, trying to get up to the net. That's an aggressive volley. We'll see that a lot tomorrow in the final from Patrick Rafter. Anything above the net, you have to put some pepper on it. Stick it away. If Andre Agassi has a chance to crack at it, you're probably going to lose.
Let's see how many more times Richard Krajicek has come to net. 51%. He's there again, but not much you can do against the magic of Agassi.
Agassi's not only there, but he's able to get the racket back. See where his racket back, where he gets his racket back? Right here. His shoulders are turned, and then he whips it right over the net. Now, the topspin brings it back in the court. See? It's almost like a ping pong shot.
And
late call and a very close call, Dave. Richard doesn't like it. But
I can't catch that ball.
Yeah, Lars Graf from Sweden isn't going to overrule that one. It's too far away from his chair.
That's certainly the right standpoint from an umpire's situation on the far side. It was very close, but now a break point. And again, Agassi trying to take advantage of just the slightest opening for the Flying Dutchman, Richard Krajicek. This is a huge point of the match. Agassi needs it. Could help seal the deal.
Richard Krajicek serving his way out of trouble. Taking his time. Very deliberate. Nice toss. Hits the spot. Nice ace.
Brad Gilbert, Agassi's coach, watches on.
Left for service.
Missed it wide. Agassi jammed him on that first volley. Not much Richard Krajicek could do with it.
Agassi.
And again, Andre Agassi, a big break point. Try to take himself a 5-3 lead and maybe serve for a spot in the finals.
Andre Agassi just didn't stay down with that return.
Cheers.
If he looks at the tape of this match, he's going to be unhappy with his forehand return because he's been pulling off of it. Want to stay down through the strike zone.
0 for 4 on break point tries in the second set.
Now, if there is one side weaker for Andre Agassi, it is the forehand side. It's not that it's a bad shot, but his backhand is stable and it's aggressive. See how he stayed down with that one? It was a missed serve, but you could see how he turned his shoulders and all the way through the strike zone. Was solid. Now it's just up to Andre Agassi to take advantage of these opportunities and put the Flying Dutchman away.
Third double fault. Very untimely for Krajicek. Needs another big serve here.
As soon as I plug his backhand return, he shanks it. Come on, Punisher. Make me look good up here.
We all try on a regular basis.
Yeah.
We all try. Back to deuce. An ace and 2 service winners on break point.
Left for service.
We have that electronic let calling device. Gotten rid of the net umpires now. Electronic signal goes right to the chair umpire to notify him of a let. No left there. Another big serve. Richard Krajicek.
Advantage Krajicek.
Number 21. I was wrong. 12.
Make it 12.
Sounds good.
He may get that far. Just over an hour of match time from Toronto.
Left for 6. Game,
Big
Krajicek.
serve. Does in Andre Agassi. A couple of times, great point opportunities and a chance for a 5-3 lead to serve out this semifinal. Instead, we remain on serve at 4-all. And Luke, I imagine there for Krajicek, big confidence boost to stay in the match.
Well, it's a sigh of relief more than anything. Andre Agassi has to be careful because leaving a Wimbledon champion like Richard Krajicek around is going to be nothing but trouble. You want to get this guy in the locker room, finish him off. It's good technique for Andre Agassi on that forehand volley, but he just didn't do enough with it. He wins the point. You have to stick that thing. We've seen Richard Krajicek around the net, sticking his forehand and backhand volleys. It's a good play from Krajicek. Again, taking the ball early, coming in. You're not going to win ground stroke points against the A-train Andre Agassi.
Second double fault for Agassi in the match. Both have come in the second set. Andre Agassi has talked very much at length about how he's enjoying this rise in the rankings much more than he did the first time around. He was a younger player.
We took it for granted earlier.
Certainly.
He had to really reach down deep into his heart and guts, come up with some good character. And it means a lot more. I think there is some unfinished business in the career of Andre Agassi. Always known as a talented player, probably a guy who didn't live up to his talent. And they questioned, would he ever win a Grand Slam? He wins Wimbledon, probably the one they thought he'd never win. He'd love to win the French. He'd love to get back to world #1.
Blasted up the line. He really teed off on that backhand drive. A bullet for a winner from Krajicek.
Richard Krajicek's best backhand is down the line from the passing shot and the ground stroke point of view if he's hitting topspin on it. He plants his front foot, snaps his wrist, gets good pace.
30th winner.
Game, Agassi.
Caught the line. Krajicek takes a second look. No overrule from chair umpire Lars Graf, and Agassi will waste no time
5 games to 4.
to sit down on the changeover. Take a look here, Luke.
Oh, that's out. I think that's out. Krajicek has a good beef.
Put outside the line.
Agassi, the last one here at the Demore Open to argue that no call. He leads 5-4. More coming up. We are back on serve. 5-4. Semifinal number 2. Patrick Rafter, a great Australian player and 5th-ranked player in the world, is already into the finals. See that tomorrow on ESPN. His opponent to be determined, but with 4 titles and a 39-5 record on hard courts, Andre Agassi appears to be a sure bet to make the finals. Luke, no real sign of falling apart here.
Andre Agassi's had so many opportunities this second set. He's going to be really ticked off if he doesn't convert here. He's getting the returns down. He's hitting the passing shots, but he has to make the returns on the break points. He has to make Richard Krajicek pay the price for these volley errors, getting down early in the count.
You saw that statistic a moment ago on all the matches, tournaments he's won. Krajicek does not have nearly as many matches logged.
For 6.
It's that limited schedule. It's playing on all different surfaces. He's solid on clay, but he's not outstanding. Very good indoors, very good on grass, of course, Wimbledon champion. Struggles on this court only because he can't play too many matches with the bad knees. See, the knees really prevent him to get down low. That's why the word is, if you can get the ball down on Richard Krajicek, he has trouble. He has good touch around the net. but he doesn't like bending in a long match.
Again, the door inches open for Agassi. He had the opportunity for it to be wide open. Instead,
15
Gilbert's
touching.
protege. That's that backhand passing try. Still 15-30.
Andre's getting his looks, not on that one, but on that passing
Touch off.
shot, he had a chance to go up above 40. Didn't get under it. Still 30 all. The pressure is on Richard Krajicek. That is
40, 30.
smoked. 213 Ks, 13 in the match. Dave, how fast is that miles per hour? You got the chart.
135.
Yes,
That
sir.
is moving.
Smoke it.
40-30.
Cheers.
Now, most players are going to hit a lot of double faults against Andre Agassi because you have to do a little bit more with your second serve. Pete Sampras was doing a little bit more with his second serve and double faulted a lot last night. Goran double faulted. Key points in that match a few rounds ago, and now Richard Krajicek the same.
Now Sampras, 12 double faults. In the quarterfinals last night, we saw it here on ESPN2 on center court. Great first set for Sampras, but became exhausted and completely fell apart.
You can't just kick the serve in. Watch Richard Krajicek having to drive through it, because if you kick the serve to Agassi, he's going to punish it. Nice cut volley. He gets around and is able to put enough backspin to stop the ball. Richard Krajicek
Advantage
down on this
Krajicek.
one. Splits, rackets out in front. He carves under it. See, watch him carve. Put a little backspin on it. Racket head is above his wrist. Good form. It's all about form, Dave.
And that is ideal. Service winner.
Game Krajicek.
Richard Krajicek not facing a match point there. It came awfully close. At love 30. Agassi had his opportunities.
Against
Looking, you
all.
got to wonder how long Richard Krajicek is going to wait here to try to break Agassi's serve. Hasn't happened yet.
I don't think he's sticking to his game plan. He got away from it early in this set, but he went right back to the attacking style, and it hasn't been successful. But he has to do this type of game, the smash and crash, rush and crush type of style to win against Andre Agassi. That's it, the deep approach shot, followed by the nice touch volley as he feathers it short cross
Love
court.
15.
But it's set up by this nice return. Now, it wasn't stuck, but it gives him time to get in, the soft approach. That's the luck he
Miss
needed.
it.
Now a real opportunity for the Dutchman to try
Love
to take
13.
this second set.
You saw the volley winners a moment ago. Heading into this game, Agassi had lost just 1 point on his first serve during the second set. Now 2 straight.
15 touching.
And Andre rushed Krajicek into that one. You can see Richard just trying to take his time. Andre's going to turn around, serve right at Krajicek before he's ready. Another quick serving point. Krajicek's just setting into his stance. Oh, for sure Richard's going to smash and crash on this one. Just missing it,
Touch off.
but that's the right shot. That's disappointment because that second serve was hanging there. And he just pushed it wide.
Lost just 1 set on the way to the Wimbledon title in '96. He has won some big matches in his career. continues in an absolute dogfight to win the second set. And has an opening for the first time. A break point. He's been so solid in that move.
Watch Andre go after this short
13,
volley
14.
and not able to really stick this passing shot. Now, Krajicek with the first break point, the real chance he's had. First real chance he's had in this match.
Won't get there. Back to deuce. The backhand air. He was too far behind the baseline there.
That was the depth from Andre Agassi's backhand that really punished Krajicek and forced Richard into an air. It's important for Richard to stay positive. He's had love 30. He's had one break point here. He still has a chance.
Missed it. So again, Richard Krajicek with a golden opportunity.
Advantage, Krajicek.
Second break point chance of this game, and only second of the match so far. This for 6-5 lead. He can serve out for the second set. We have a brand new match if that happens.
I don't understand why Andre's serving the Krajicek backhand all the time, especially on the second serve. Richard has a good flow with that chip and charge. Serve out to the forehand, break it up a little bit. You see how that slice penetrates the court? He's able to keep it low. Andre isn't able to put any kind of juice on the return ground stroke. And this way, on the approach, nice and deep, Andre can only try to dip it. And Krajicek angles another volley off for a winner.
Third break try. And again, unable to convert. He was able to reach that cross-court forehand winner try, Luke, but not the elevation.
Well, Andre Agassi, a confident Andre Agassi, when he's down, looks for a short ball, and as you can see, he was looking to come in. That was a nice backhand approach.
Landed wide on Agassi's try.
Advantage, Krajicek.
So Krajicek again with a break opportunity. His fourth of the game coming up. Break point. The lucky charm for Krajicek. He has broken, finally, the serve of Andre Agassi. He'll serve for the second set next. Sun setting and nighttime approaching in Toronto. National Tennis Center, York University, the Memorial Open here on ESPN2.
Time.
Stop number 6 on the Mercedes Super 9 Series. Agassi and Krajicek. Things have turned around dramatically. Luke Jensen here in the second set. 4 break tries for Krajicek. From Rotterdam, number 4 came through for him, and now he serves for set number 2.
Well, Andre had every opportunity to knock this guy out in 2 sets. Now he's looking at if he doesn't break Richard here and win a tiebreaker, he's going into a third set. And with Rafter waiting, resting right now in the final, you don't want to go 3 sets with a great experienced player like Richard Krajicek. Anything can happen.
Agassi has lost the lid. Cap is gone. Now the sun is setting in the west.
Talk about the mental toughness from Andre Agassi. If he loses this set with all those opportunities to close it out, it's another test. The mental toughness of Andre Agassi to come back in the third and play good tennis and win against the Dutchman.
30-love.
Because the Dutchman's playing better. He's hitting his backhand better. I think it's time for Andre to try to pinpoint the forehand of Krajicek off the ground and on the return side.
14 aces. Starting to roll toward a third set at the Demorian.
Left versus.
Luke, you mentioned the amount of rest Patrick Rafter is getting after his easy win over Henman today in just over an hour. Not lost a set in the tournament.
Yeah, Patrick's playing doubles still, but it's just doubles. Those doubles guys, they're not in shape. They eat a lot.
You said it, not me.
I know. I'm about 30 pounds, 40 pounds overweight. I'm about 2.5 right now.
Triple set point. There are a couple of fit guys at center court.
Do you have anything to eat up here?
Not on me. Two set points for Richard Krajicek to send this to a third and final set. Again, Andre Agassi faced 2 3-setters yesterday and last night against the 10th seed Goran Ivanisevic and the top seed Pete Sampras, who came out victorious both times. He's been there.
Game. Second set.
He'll have to win the third again. Blistering ace tattooed up the middle by Krajicek. And we are going to a third set in Toronto tonight. 125 miles an hour on that steamer.
That's important for the American Andre Agassi to get off to a good start. Krajicek is playing with more confidence. He's bouncing on his toes. It's time to regain momentum for the American.
So 2 very similar sets on serve throughout the majority. Missed that easy one well long.
But did you see how he went after the forehand of Krajicek, at least to the middle of the box? Krajicek didn't hit a good forehand return. His backhand slice return is the better of both sides. His forehand can be dangerous if he takes a crack at it. But if he's going to hit and come in, it's not that strong off the forehand win. See how nice that backhand is? But it's penetrating. It's going through the court. Krajicek looks to keep it deep, then come in and carve a volley.
30-love for a 1-love start to this third set.
I think one thing, if you look at Andre Agassi, he's almost turned into the Iceman instead of the Wild Man. Before, early in his career, he showed a lot of emotion, both positive and negative, but you wouldn't know if it was the start of the match or the first game of the third or tiebreaker in the third by his facial expression. He is totally professional now, and he's ready to play.
Agassi holds to begin the third set in style, a 1-love lead, but in the second set, Richard Krajicek able to take advantage of a break opportunity late for a 6-5 lead and a 7-5 set win. Event from Toronto and the National Tennis Center at York University. From high above, jam-packed. Center court, over 10,000 fans overflowing their way in to watch Agassi Krajicek. Third set has been very sweet for Richard Krajicek. Agassi 8 of 10, not bad either.
I don't think Andre's dropped his level of play. I just didn't think he delivered the knockout punch in the second set when he had the opportunities. Krajicek got hot with his return game. And he's starting to find his rhythm, finding his game, his attacking game. Now that's going to be dangerous against anybody, even the hottest player on the tour, Andre Agassi. The serving's there, the placing's there, the volleys, the footwork.
30-love.
Both players are playing at a high level of intensity. Top tennis right now.
Krajicek, victorious over qualifier David Nenkin from South Africa in straight sets. Alex O'Brien from the USA took 3 sets to knock him off. And Kafelnikov. 6-4, 6-4 over the Russian in that quarterfinal match. He is now rolling to a 1-all score, keeping us on serve. 3rd set.
And now we're talking about fitness from the Dutchman. Like Pete Sampras, he hasn't played a tournament since Wimbledon. Coming in this humidity, he's played a lot of tough matches. And now a match an hour and 27 minutes old. Agassi looks to wear down Richard Krajicek.
Game, Krajicek.
Won't happen here. Only serve for Krajicek at love, and we are still on serve. 3rd set, 1-all. Andre Agassi trying to increase that overall Du Maurier record to 27-4. We mentioned at Toronto, he's been outstanding. 15 of 16 wins when the event is held here. It alternates with Montreal as the match host site, tournament site.
That's just Agassi scrapping. He wasn't able to hit a 2-hand backhand, so he had to really try to slide it short cross court
15 love.
to keep it low. He's successful. Krajicek with a nice forehand approach, maybe a little late coming in. Agassi gets away. Now all Krajicek needed to do is really kind of bump it down the line, and he missed it. That's the shot I want to see Andre hit. Exploit the forehand. Richard Krajicek's a lot better when he's running around the backhand and hitting a forehand. He doesn't hit a good forehand on the run like a Pete Sampras or an Ivan Lendl. Can just nail it down the line across court. See, that's just nice touch. He's been going deep this time. He just caresses it short cross court, inside out. Agassi's waiting for the deep approach shot. That's why you serve the second serve to the forehand. See, it's just great control. Shoulders are turned, good balance.
Down the line.
That's a big passing shot, and he's missed the last couple. This time he steps forward and accelerates with the head of the racket.
14-15.
It's the racket head speed that really gets him this point. Good contact. See the flick of the wrist? Now that 2-hand backhand's hit with his left hand. That's where he gets the control.
Sails well long. That was a great look on just how far back Agassi takes the racket. Not very. Explosion of the wrist through the ball. Not much Krajicek can do about shots like that. Still anyone's semifinal match to see who faces Pat Rafter in tomorrow's final on ESPN. Here in the Deuce, it's 2-1 in the 3rd. ESPN takes you to Watkins Glen. It's racing. Coverage begins with a NASCAR 2-day, 12:30 tomorrow, and then 1 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN. It's the Fun at the Glen from Watkins Glen International. NASCAR's best take on the legendary road course. 1997 winner Jeff Gordon. It's all coming up on ESPN.
The Rainbow Warrior. Does he have a license yet? I mean, isn't he like 15 or something? He's young.
Time.
Dale Earnhardt's my guy. Dale Earnhardt, the man in black.
Agassi 14-11, the winner's unforced errors ratio. Krajicek way up there because he forces play so much more, and all that play at the net. Each has stuck to their respective game plans well.
I'm really impressed with the way Richard Krajicek actually pulled off of it and went right back to it and was successful later in the 2nd set. Talked a lot about coaching on the tour. We're experimenting with that right now. I think that would help both players at this point.
New balls in play. And with the first rocket from Krajicek with the new balls, I can see a question about that call or lack thereof. 15 left.
It's very important when you're serving with new balls that you're out in front. Same on the return side. They're going to take off a little bit. Nice feel. So much of the time we've seen Richard Krajicek just dump it over the net. See, a lot of juniors try to power that shot or try to put too much spin on it. Just loosen the wrist and feel it over the net. And he's bringing it right now. You can see him when he gets that toss up there. He starts to bring that shoulder around. That elbow comes through. He finishes the shot off with a nice wrist snap. Hustle from Agassi pays off. I think Andre's now reading that drop volley. Now, this wasn't by design. It was kind of a shank. You see how Andre was up on it? Richard not able to handle it. Racket out in front, and he disguises it right at the last minute. He goes cross court. Right here, Krajicek, guessing down the line, and then caught. I think Andre needs to do a little bit more with the second serve return. Try to go for the lines. Try to hit it away from the serving, volleying Dutchman.
So far, all the shots have been at his feet.
That's what I'm talking about. Too many times Krajicek's had a look at a volley, and Andre's been content with just trying to get it at the feet.
Touch off.
This gave Krajicek a good rhythm on his volleys. Now you got to hit away. The short backswing, the compact return for Andre Agassi is successful.
The last few times, Krajicek able to line it up. We saw the touch in the half volley. Beautiful scenery in Ontario tonight.
Nice passing shot. The return isn't where he wanted it. Nice and high for Krajicek. Krajicek sticks it, but right into the hit zone of Andre Agassi.
30-14.
Watch this passing it. Short backswing. Swing. That's racket head speed developed as a young kid. He fed tons of balls right off the ground.
Agassi missed all 5 break tries in the second set when he could have put this match away. Can he convert in the third? Not yet.
You can just feel it. You can just see the opportunity if you can just convert on one of those break points. And there's nothing really he can do with that first serve. He just somehow has to fight it off, try to get it low.
And overcome the strong net play of Richard Krajicek. We saw the number a moment ago.
Advantage.
It's been tremendous coming into net.
This is where Goran Ivanisevic has trouble. He hit a big serve. If it comes back, then he's a little shaky. Richard Krajicek is not that type of player. Anything above the shoulder, he's going to hit, punish. Good hands, good touch around the net. He's starting to hurt some of the sponsors up here. Don't hurt the sponsors. We like those guys.
Krajicek fights off a break point try for Agassi. He's now missed out on his last 6 break attempts against Richard Krajicek, so we are still on serve, third set, 2-all.
Yeah, Dave, we talked yesterday. Whoever was going to win the big points, those break point opportunities, and take advantage and run with it, was going to win the match. Sampras, in the first set, was able to do it in the tiebreaker. Andre Agassi wore him out. But this has been the difference so far. Andre should be in the locker room. Now the 6'5" frame all over the net. Chipping and charging, volleying with authority. Going to the backhand. I do not like this play from Andre. I like that better. It was just a good return Krajicek had to muscle it down the middle. He had some pace on it.
30.
Now a real opportunity for Krajicek.
You can sense the opening, and he is really converting on getting into the net, and so close to it as well. Not much Agassi can do. He needs those lightning quick passing shots, but Krajicek has had the answers, and now, a double fault for Love 40, 3 break points. First of the third set, third of the match.
There's
Brad
concern.
Gilbert.
Opportunities wasted now. Krajicek with the opportunities. That's the forehand return I'm talking about. Mix it up.
15-14.
Your mentality, if you're Andre Agassi, is to go one at a time. Get your first serve in. He's just acting confident, but I promise you, he's not. He wants his man to get a good first serve in, move his feet, get in position. Now he's in trouble.
Krajicek will come in again, we're sure.
Nice shot. That lob is tough because it's going with the wind. Krajicek, 6'5", jumping back, can't reach it. Gets enough on it to get it back, but not enough for Andre Agassi, who puts his backhand away.
2 down, 1 to go. Still 30-40. He's done it.
Krajicek.
Chip and charge, executed to perfection. A great net game of Krajicek is overcoming Agassi's ground strokes. He has broken the American in the third set. Welcome back, everyone. Break of serve for the Flying Dutchman Richard Krajicek from Rotterdam. A 3-2 lead now on Agassi in the third set. We've talked a lot, Luke, about Agassi's move up the rankings. Should Richard Krajicek win this thing over Rafter tomorrow? If he, of course, wins tonight, up to number 6.
Well, he's definitely played confident tennis from the middle stages of the second set throughout the third set. And his game plan has finally come in. Agassi's missing passing shots, missing first serves. He's thrown that anti-rhythm bug right here at this man, Andre Agassi, and it's been working. Now the pressure is on Andre Agassi to deliver the goods on the return side.
Earlier in the match, when Agassi was effective against the huge server Krajicek, good returns to the feet.
Yeah, Richard Krajicek now is just hauling the mail.
15
He's
up.
got to concentrate on just holding his serve, keeping good form, hitting the corners, hitting first serves. This is every server's dream, to be up a break in the third set, in any set, be leaning on your opponent, taking some more chances.
Especially with the heat he can bring. Regularly over 130 miles an hour.
Now he's closing in. Not only is he hitting deep second serves, along with a few aces mixed in, his first volley is deadly. Look at the sting on his forehand. He leans in, racket out in front.
It's deep, it's got angle.
It's
No
got
one's
everything.
getting that back.
No. That's not with a lot of power, but he was able to use his wrist and snap it down into the court.
40 love.
Bouncing over Andre Agassi. Agassi stretching for this. It's a good play, but just not enough on it. We heard the pop from Sampras's racket last night. The pop from Krajicek's racket on that first serve has been deadly for Agassi in these later stages. That's the return I want to see. Outside in the middle. Stretch that big guy. He's moving so fast forward, it's tough to change directions. You can do it on the second serve. On the first serve, you're just trying to survive the Dutch onslaught.
40-30.
Double fault, rather untimely there, especially with his powerful serve. Been on a roll.
Is
Five double
fatigue
faults
setting
for him.
in? I'm not sure. It could be. I mean, he didn't put much leg into that. It's very important in the later stages to make sure you're concentrating using your legs on your serve. It's the first thing that goes in a big, long match. Andre Agassi again stretching out the court on the return side. Krajicek took a little bit off. That only a little over 100 miles an hour. But look at this, nothing on it.
Cheers.
And Agassi directing it down the line. Now we've got ourselves a game. Andre Agassi clawing his way back.
Seemed like he was done for in this game. Luke down 40 love. Big miss.
Krajicek.
Now, if you're Andre Agassi and you've missed a few backhand passes down the line, and you're not real confident with the location, go right down the middle. Go right back at the big Krajicek. Force him into a tough volley.
This for 4-2.
Krajicek.
What a touch for the big man from Rotterdam. He has been outstanding at net all night long.
That's a Dutch tree.
Krajicek leads 4-2.
Carving that forehand volley short cross court. A little side spin. A real command of his volley game right now does Richard Krajicek have.
Missed it.
And now everything's
15.
kind of gone astray for Andre Agassi. The passing shots, the footwork, the balance. Krajicek's just throwing everything out there in the middle of the court. Things are going right.
He has been hot in this match, 7-9.
There, it's all coming together. The swinging forehand. You saw earlier he shanked one into the stands. This time he stays down with it. Hits through the ball. Nice winner. Another opportunity.
All elements of his game, Luke, are coming to fruition at the right time for Krajicek. He is hot.
Remember, Agassi likes rhythm. He likes to be out there working the points. When he doesn't have that, he's a good passing shot artist. But when the guy's 6'5" and he's leaning on you, and the guy has good touch and he can stick volleys,
40.
it's tough. And he's now fighting an uphill battle as Agassi. Love 40.
This is a mountain right now. He's trying to climb. Straight uphill. 3 break points for 5-2.
Left for 6.
And then Krajicek can serve for the match and a spot into the finals.
Game Krajicek.
He'll do just that. The wheels have come off for Andre Agassi. When we return, Krajicek will try to join Patrick Rafter in the finals of the 1998 Demore Open from Toronto. Well, Andre Agassi has 4 titles this year. Richard Krajicek just won that at St. Petersburg, Russia, earlier in the ATP Tour season. He's on his way to a final against Pat Rafter tomorrow. We'll have it for ESPN. The Gateway Tournament update to this point. Pete Sampras, a loser, not only in the quarterfinals to Agassi, but his #1 ranking as well. Pat Rafter has rolled all the way into the finals without losing a set. How about Agassi? Trying for number 15 in a row, Luke, but it does not look good right now.
I mean, 45 minutes ago, we were talking about Andre Agassi winning this tournament without even playing the final, just mail it in. But Andre Agassi didn't play bad. Richard Krajicek really raised his level, got some opportunities converted, and that 4th break point in the 2nd set, and has really steamrolled the man from Vegas ever since.
Going for the big serve, trying to gun that up the middle. #2 in aces this week with 47 coming in to this semifinal match. He's got 15 tonight.
15 love.
It's amazing how close all the players are. 1 minute, you're talking about Andre Agassi dominating the tour, moving the number 6 after this week, moving on in Cincinnati. This is not a major setback, but it's a disappointment.
Because of all those chances in the second set. 5 break points. Would have put him in great shape to serve out for the match. Couldn't convert. And boy, has Krajicek come through. As you mentioned, the play has gone up several notches.
And that was a close passing shot. And Richards really looking at that mark.